Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
I would now like to welcome Sister Ahlam Mahmood. She is ICNA Relief, Chicago's outreach coordinator and co-founder of the Iraqi Mutual Aid Society in Chicago, Illinois. Before arriving here, she served as an English-Arabic translator for journalists before and after 2003 invasion of Iraq. In 2008, she was resettled to Chicago as a refugee, where she co-founded the Iraqi Mutual Aid Society. Many of us know Sister Ahlam Mahmood as a tireless volunteer and advocate for Iraqi refugees. She frequently speaks to the media and groups about Iraqi refugee experiences in the United States and abroad. She has been featured on BBC, Huffington Post, Chicago Public Radio, Chicago Tribune, Washington Report on Middle East Affairs, and Salon Magazine. She is the recipient of the Inspiring Women's Award given by Muslim Women's Alliance and the Y Woman Leadership Award by the YMCA of Evanston, YWCA of Evanston. I'd like to welcome Sister Ahlam Mahmood.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The ladies couldn't hear me, so I have to say salam again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Every morning when I wake up, I give away my time and my efforts, fi sabilillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just to join my son that I lost when I was as a refugee in Syria. He was 11 years old, and I lost him over a sudden. In 2003, before 2003, we have no any international or national or organization, humanitarian organizations. During the war in 2003, I was at home with my kids alone after they've been evicted, all the women's and the children's from the houses, but I ignored all the warnings and I decided to stay. So if I've been killed, I will be killed and honored on my home, not outside my home. After 3 days from bombing, nobody can imagine what the meaning of 52 aircraft that bombing all the streets, all the villages, all the neighborhoods in Baghdad. When you cannot feel the terror because you cannot breathe, you cannot imagine what can happen to 3 kids. The oldest, he was just 9 years old. My middle, Abdullah, he was 7 years old, and my youngest, she was just 5. After the war, everyone was in terror for a moment. So I decided actually to spare my kids in the home after we've been out from drinkable water. So I have to look for drinkable water for 3 kids. I went and I have to pass the main street that between our home and my cousin's home. When I pass it, I find all these bodies of people without any kind of differences if he is a man, a woman, or a child who is being killed all way the street. It's really hurting your soul and hurting your mind and hurting your heart when you find a human being who Rabb al-Alameen, subhanahu wa ta'ala, put him in the top of his creatures and find him he's been eaten by dogs. What we decided to do, me and 3 of my cousins who was doing as a garden guard all the homes there, to bury the people, and then have the description, put them in a record, and put the record in the masjid. The masjid, the last thing they're gonna have it bombed, but at least who's gonna come after us, he will find it, and he can lead to the graves. So we done it. And since then, I give away my time, I give away my energy, I give away everything just to serve the Iraqi people. Unfortunately, because I'm very good in English and I was reached out for different kind of agencies like human rights, Christian peacemakers, United Nations, you name it. I was kidnapped and tortured for 8 days. I was blinded, handcuffed, and put a place that I don't know where. But I get released after 8 days with a very serious injuries. With 2 conditions, one of them I have to leave the country. So I left with my kids and my husband. First, we went to fleet to Jordan, from Jordan to Egypt, from Egypt we returned back to Syria. And the 3rd of May, the morning of 3rd of May, 2006, my oldest son, his name is Anas, he was claiming from a back pain. He said, my shoulder is hurting me a lot. And I was, okay, let me take you to the doctor. I took him to the hospital. They give him an injection that I don't know what. And in 15 minutes, I saw my child, his soul just went. And the result of high-dose injection, because they didn't ask for his age. They only saw him when he was beside me. In the end of, in May in 2008, it seems to be me and May is not quite friends, because also in May 2008, in the end of May, the Syrian intelligence, they arrested me because I refused to work with them. They was wanting me to be a spy on the international organization that I work for, like UNICEF, UNHCR, Amnesty International, and I refused totally. So they put me in jail, while my 2 kids, Ruqayya and Abdullah, both of them, they was alone outside. They kept me for 5 months. 5 months, I was in the 2nd floor of the prison that I'd been recognized. After 5 months, I was on the 2nd floor. Then on the 29th of October, 2008, I saw the sunrise from the plane in my way to the United States. When I arrived here, I met an American lady who's so active and familiar with Amnesty International. So together we founded the Iraqi Mutual Aid Society. And since then, I'm working with the refugees and very familiar with the refugees' problems. This is my son, Abdullah, that I'm very proud of. He kept my head high held. He's in college now. He takes good care of his mom. I'm proud of him. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As we said, thank you, honey. Now I have those 2 angels that I'm trying my best to be their simple life. I have this son and my daughter. Unfortunately, she was unable to make it today. She will be extremely happy. He's in college. His dream is to become engineer, computer engineering, and he's worked hard for it, and he will done it, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, I have 2 minutes. So I'm gonna talk about ICNA Relief. ICNA Relief, I work with them after I arrive with 1 year. As a volunteer, as a part-time job, then as a full-time job for a whole year. Nobody can recognize what kind of services ICNA Relief doing. We are not only providing the refugee or the needy families with a food share or with kitchen kit or with just the furniture. Any one of us, if he desired to have his work with the refugee and needy families, he have to go inside the houses and see what kind of problems they have. We try to reach every needy family in the community of North Chicago. Since I'm the only one there, so I'm reaching out with the rest of the volunteers. But we have rest of brothers and sisters who's doing the same job, who reach out, the needy families, go inside their houses, homes, and see what kind of needs they have. Because sometimes all what they need is some encouragement. Some people who tell them, okay, it's okay to go. It's okay to go to the streets. It's okay for your boy to go to school and to be late for after-school program. Since they are newcomers, and all what they heard about the United States from the outside is terrifying and panic. If they have kids, they will be terrified if they are going to the street, if they been late for home for 5 minutes. Everyone will be panic. So, and little by little, by encouragement that this is the life you have, you can go to, you can do something in. This is what they need, good word, and inspiring words from sisters and brothers. We have refugee from Burma, we have refugee from Iraq, and we are start to receive a refugee from Syria too. And they need everything that we can offer them. People who is being dismissed for 5 years, they live in a very poor situation. They have no education, they have no hand skills, and they arrive to the United States. So what we need to do now is have in your hands, sisters and brothers, there is a lot of people in need outside this hall. Please, outreach them, knock their doors, see what they need. Maybe all what they need is familiar face. Maybe all what they need is a very friendly smile. And what somebody told them, it's gonna be okay, it's just gonna take time. Not every one of us, when he came to the United States, he was a billionaire. I arrived to the United States with 2 kids with $45, all my fortune. And I worked hard to do the future of my kids. So now, we have to encourage them all to do so. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.